Okay, friends and family that are not bored with this stuff, here's my update for the week. It's Tuesday, April 2nd. So, these are the seed, the garden, well, not garden salad, mesclun salad seed starts that I went ahead and put in, you can't see it, went ahead and put in containers, and they seem to be doing okay. Those are two spinach plants that I've started inside, and I had hoped I could get them to transition outside. We'll see. Those are some other ones that are the same age as these two, but I just put them in pots about 2 weeks later. I got a new pepper plant that's a different variety. It's a hybrid, but it's called Tabasco pepper, so I'm interested in that. My strawberries, they're not doing anything. I got a couple of new things going down here. Those are the tomato plants that I started inside, and they're plus the rest of the spinach starts down at the end. Don't know if you can see them through this plastic. Anyway, the tomatoes are doing really good. They're getting kind of leggy, but I'm going to plant them laying down like I did the other ones. I got some lavender and not Greek oregano. Oh shoot, now I can't remember what the name of the stuff is. I cook with it all the time. I have a head injury. Rosemary, sorry, I could not think of that. I really do have a head injury, and I really am not remembering things, so I'm not joking. I am joking, but I am telling the truth. Okay, it's sprinkling a little bit out here today, so I'm going to not go into as much detail as I usually do. I cut back my Swiss chard quite a bit, and gave some to my neighbors. They were getting so big that they were crowding out some other stuff back there in the back. And like I did this the other day, it's my hand. That's just one leaf. I mean, these things are just prolific. But they do need sun, and if they don't get sun, they do not do that well. And out of nowhere, two of the snap peas that I planted started pushing up through the ground. So they're probably not going to do anything. It's going to get too hot for them pretty soon. But and seems like I spoke too soon. My lettuce plants that were doing great all of a sudden started dying. So I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I didn't do anything different. That's the other Swiss chard and pepper plant, and I've got a lot of peppers. If everything will set, I'll show you some more of that in a second. The two newest tomato plants that I bought, and they've already got flowers on them, which is really cool. So we'll see how they do. These are some more tomato starts that I started inside. I have three really strong plants. This one and those two, or they looked strong when they were inside. Now they look really wimpy. These two are actually there's three in there. Those three are probably not going to make it, but they weren't very strong to begin with. I'll transfer them out when they get bigger. My La Feliciana peach still has not come out of dormancy. I went ahead and added some fertilizer yesterday. and it's the Mittlighter fertilizer mix. And I'm adding that to everything now. I've done a bunch of research on it, and it's not organic in the traditional sense. Anyway, strawberries are just not doing anything. I mean, they look healthy enough. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. My pomegranate tree continues to get taller and bigger. I am going to have some potatoes, that's for sure. Eggplant, it's just going to take over everything. Some more tomatoes. This is I can't remember which variety this is, but this is one of the ones that I planted inside and transferred, so I'm pretty happy about that. Sweet basil, lemon basil, the patio tomato. That's the first one I bought this year, and those are the biggest tomatoes that I have right now. My sour orange tree, which, I mean, literally just has hundreds of blooms all over it. Let me think. This is the Page Mandarin, and it's got a lot of fruit that's already set on it. And this is the Caracara, the pink navel orange, and it's got a ton of fruit on it that's set. We'll see if it stays on there. More, that actually looks like watermelon. I do have some cantaloupe in the other package. The boxwood stuff. This stuff really tastes good. I used it the other day. You just pull off the leaves. The leaves are so small you don't have to chop them up. And my almond tree, fig tree, fig tree, fig tree. I got another one. I got a really good price on another one that it's a pollinator for the other two that I have. Another eggplant, more peppers, blueberry, and this is really pretty. This is my plum tree, and it's a self-pollinator, and I am getting some bees around here too, so it's good news. As long as the wind doesn't knock everything off like it did my apple trees. But that is a really pretty flower. I have apples, which is really cool. And let's see if you can see this one here. Yeah, so I have apples. I also have a bird or something that's picking the apples off the tree. Fortunately, I think the one that they got was not going to make. I think it was a dud. I can't remember what you call those when it looks like they make a fruit, but it's actually not a fruit. And they don't grow. They just they act like they're going to, and then they just fall off. But this little tree is not going to be able to support a whole bunch of apples. So, all right. So, the update on this tomato. This is the Sun Gold, and that's the plum. This is the one that had the weird spotting on the leaves. It looked like some kind of blight. I clipped those leaves off. I sprayed it with an organic spray, and it's doing fine. This one's doing good too. It had one leaf on it that I'm pretty sure that it was some kind of fungus. And I clipped that leaf off, and it's doing fine now. We had a big, very fast moving, lot of wind. Of course it's windy today, but not like it was the other day. We had a lot of hail up north, and when it got to where I live, I had moved all of my plants underneath here, and I moved some of them inside my apartment as well. And then there was no hail. It was a bunch of rain in a very, very short amount of time. So no damaged plants. I have some peppers over here. Guess you can see that. And again, strawberry plants are big and healthy, and out of nowhere I have a few strawberry fruit. So I don't know what to think about these things. I do think it's heat related somehow. Do have some more flowers on these tomato plants, which is great. And I do have some tomatoes coming on over here. I think you can see those. And lots of flowers. Not everything is setting, but lots of flowers. I may end up with some lemons this year. We'll see. I've lost a ton of these. I don't know if the tree's just not big enough or what, but I actually had more blooms and lemons that I had leaves on this tree here for a while. I'm losing a bunch of them off of this one, but anyway, orange tree, both of them are doing really good. Seem to be still flowering, still putting on fruit. The bees have found this. They're not out today because it's windy and raining, but bumblebees have found these trees and are all over it most of the day. And so that's good. And quickly we'll go down here. My onion patch, they're catching on a little bit. The third container of potatoes, my blackberry bush that appears to be coming back from the dead, my raspberry bush, which was looking good a few days ago, and now it's turned this pale yellow color, and I don't know what I'm doing. Onions, potatoes, cantaloupe. So I think that's it. I don't think there's anything else for me to tell you. My peach tree is looking real nice. It's put out a bunch of leaves on all three grafted branches. The La Feliciana has not broken dormancy yet. Don't know why. I don't know. I talked to expert at the nursery, and she said that there are still some trees that are coming in off the trucks that are just now breaking dormancy, and I did see a few peach trees that had not budded out. So I'm assuming they're being trucked in from cold locations. So anyway, that's it. You may not have a whole bunch of land, which I clearly don't, but that doesn't mean that you can't do something. And I think we have to relearn how to do all this stuff. If you don't learn how to plant this stuff and pay attention to it, something bad happens in the economy, which I think is unavoidable at this point. We may need to grow our own food just to feed our families. And so I've been focusing on things that I can learn how to do, plants that are fairly forgiving of my mistakes. I'm not against growing hybrids, but I do try to find heirloom varieties if I can, because I can save the seeds for next year in case the worst happens. And it's just a good way to learn what grows in the area that you live in, what things are drought tolerant or need a lot of water, and what kind of soils they do best in, and what's going to actually provide the most amount of food for you to eat with the least amount of effort and cost to you. Learning how to propagate, learning how to graft. These orange trees, almost every citrus and everything over there that's a tree, except for that La Feliciana, everything over there is grafted. There's nothing over there that was grown from a seed. So learning how to propagate and graft onto existing trees or rootstock or whatever, it's things that our grandparents, great-grandparents, that was just a way of life for them, and our society has gotten accustomed to going down to the store and picking something off the shelf. If you go buy an apple right now, that apple's been sitting in some kind of oxygen-deprived warehouse so that it doesn't go bad. And there are plenty of types of apples that can store for several months and taste just fine, as long as they're refrigerated to a certain temperature. But there are other apples that, and I'm just learning this, there are other apples that when they get ripe enough to be picked and eaten, you've only got about a month for them to store properly, and then they're bad. So I live in the deep south. It gets very, very hot, and it can be in drought-like conditions for long periods of time, and then huge hurricane type conditions where you have thunderstorms almost every day, high winds. It's not it's got different kind of growing problems than other places around the country, and a lot of these things are forgotten because we don't have to deal with them every day. So I'm not an expert at this stuff, but I'm doing what I can and trying to be as proactive as I can. So, I'm sure there are people watching this video that can answer questions you may have a lot better than myself. But if you're new to this, newer at it than I am, and you have a question, just leave a comment. I do have friends on YouTube that I follow that are homesteaders and have farms, and I'm fairly certain that they would be happy to answer any question that I don't know the answer to. So do what you can with what you got, and you know, it's not impossible. You know, some 5-gallon cans at one of the Big Lot stores for $2 or $3, and go down with your truck to a soil place and get a truck full of soil and start filling up 5-gallon buckets. If you don't have any dirt, if you live in an apartment and you know you don't have any dirt, but you have a little bit of space. I mean, this is my patch of dirt here is maybe 4 by 6, and I did what I could in it, and then I just got containers for the rest of it. Bought containers on sale when I saw them on sale, and some plants that I purchased in pots that I put in bigger pots, I just recycled them and kept going. So, okay, this went longer than I wanted it to, but hopefully it was helpful. Thanks. We'll see y'all next time. Bye bye.